Hello everyone, welcome to another Gwarzalez Magic. Today I'm going to be playing some Pauper, and also this is going to have a companion article piece over at Rogue Deck Builder, so I hope you guys enjoy the content. I know I've done a couple Pauper videos in the past, playing Affinity as always, but there seems to be a recent surge of interest in it, especially in my local gaming community, so I would like to go ahead and make a video. Going into the main deck here, let's go ahead and sort this by color. Oh, it already sorted by color. Okay. We have 4 Thoughtcasts. This is just great when you can play the artifact lands. Normally it's just a blue, draw 2 cards. 4 Galvanic Blasts, a better version of Lightning Bolt in our deck. Its Metalcraft has us dealing 4 damage instead of 2, and it's very good for either removing opponent's threats or going to the face and ending the game. The only creature of relevance that does not hit is Gurmag Angler, which is sort of the creature to beat in this format, in my opinion. I'll get to how we deal with him later. Moving on, we have 4 Atogs, which is part of the combo of the deck with Fling. So you can sack your entire board to Atog, gets +2/+2 until end of turn, and then you can fling it at your opponent, and you can do this at instant speed, which is almost always awesome. There are a couple counterspells, including actual counterspell, that can stop this plan, but generally you can do it when your opponent's tapped out on the end of your turn. So let's say your opponent taps out to play a spell, end of your turn, you can in response fling your Atog. Pretty good stuff. We have 4 Carapace Forger. It's normally a bear, but when you have Metalcraft, it's a 4/4. So I think I've said this in the past, but Affinity is generally more of a mid-range deck with a combo in Pauper as opposed to an aggro deck. Our deck is full of, good, solid bodies for less than they should cost. I'll get to those in a second. Playing 4 Ancient Den, 4 Great Furnace, 4 Seed of the Synod, 4 Tree of Tales, and 1 Vault of Whispers. Looking at my sideboard, yeah, I think that's how I want it. Maybe we do want an additional Vault of Whispers over the Ancient Den, but oh well. And so you're going to be running some mixture of these 5 artifact lands, so our mana base is a little weird sometimes because we are a 5-color deck. I've seen some builds run Darksteel Citadel to get around cards like Ancient Grudge or Gorilla Shaman, which are generally brought in against us. They're very effective hate cards, but they don't tap for colored mana, and I think that kind of kills them for me. Because they're only good in certain situations like that, which are granted very good situations to have them in, but I generally prefer to play with all the colors. 2 Ornithopters. I was running Flare Husk in this spot, and then I realized that I was really running Flare Husk to get around mono black control edict effects and have fast mana for Springleaf Drum. And since Ornithopter is free, it just does it a lot better. And in my opinion, any format where you get to go land Ornithopter, Springleaf Drum, 1-drop, you're having some fun with artifacts. 4 Chromatic Stars, this helps with mana fixing, and also you can sack these to Atog to just draw a card if you need to. I'm not playing Chromatic Sphere because you actually have to sacrifice the artifact to draw the card. Here it's just when it's put into the graveyard, you draw the card. 2 Ichor Wellsprings, mostly to smooth out draws and help feed Atog. 2 Prophetic Prisms, mana fixing and card draw. 4 Frogmites, almost always a free spell. One of my favorite opening sequences is land, Springleaf, Ornithopter, next turn, Frogmite, or 1-drop, 2-drop, Frogmite. You don't land, and these free. Playing 3 Rusted Relics. This is my way to deal with Gurmag Angler. It's just a 5/5 for 4. Which is pretty good. Doesn't have affinity, but still very solid. 5 is generally as big as the creatures in Pauper Go, unless you're playing Tron, where they have Ulamog's Crusher, and that's an 8/8. And then Mirror Enforcer, who is a 4/4, sometimes for free. He's never 7. Moving to the sideboard, we have Circle Protection Red. A lot of red decks online, very good against them. 1 Ray of Revelation for decks with annoying enchantments or boggles. Standard Bearer for the same reason, and also for targeted removal. We have 2 Dispels, which I think may be one of the best counterspells in the format. There's just a lot of relevant instant spells. Very good against combo decks, as their win condition is Ghostly Flicker for a lot of them. Very good against burn, very good against removal. Just all in all, a very solid card. I would highly recommend looking into Dispel if you're playing blue. Diabolic Edict. I like to have one of these around for big creature decks. Tron, Boggles, anything where I want to get rid of something. Doomblade, sort of the same niche, but obviously not good against Boggles or black decks. But I do like having 2 of them on the board. 1 Electrickery for little weenie decks, especially elves. 2 Pyroblasts for the blue decks. 2 Ancient Grudges for the mirror. Or, Tron as well. Armadillo Cloak, I generally bring this in against other creature decks to race and to basically have a threat they can no longer deal with. And then 1 Relic of Progenitus for the random graveyard decks. Also, a lot of blue-black Mystical Teachings decks in my meta, so this is pretty useful. But yeah, love the deck. Affinity, like always, 5-color deck, and we can sort of tailor our sideboard to whatever we need. Hope you guys enjoy the content and the article, and I'll see you in the games. Ever. You can't be. All of our lands are... Here we are in game number 1 in the tournament queues. This hand is great. We got card draw, we got ATOGs, we got Spring Leaf. So turn 1, turn 2. So yeah, we'll keep this. I did record a game in the tournament practice room, but my opponent quit on me. That's the unfortunate tournament practice life, I guess. So here we are in the not tournament practice, which is fine. So next turn, I do not think that we're going to be able to play ATOG and Thoughtcast. We only have 3 artifacts out. My opponent has seemingly a slow start here. Red, white, maybe Boros Kitty or something, I don't know. Okay, Ichor Wellspring, not bad. I still think I want to go ahead and resolve my ATOG though. This is going to cost 2. Yeah, that's unfortunate. We can do it next turn though. Next turn we can Thoughtcast, play Ichor Wellspring. We can draw up to 4 cards next turn if we want to, between ATOG and Ichor. Faithless Looting, huh? That I do not like. Red, white Reanimator? No, it is like Boros Kitty. Because he's got the Sky Fisher and the Ichor Wellspring, and so maybe he has a bolt in hand. Firebolt. Alright, so I guess how bad do I want this ATOG versus how bad do I want to draw cards? I can either keep the ATOG. Actually, you know, I think I want to keep the ATOG. Yeah, I'd just rather keep him. Mirror Enforcer. Alright, so let's go see the Synod. So this is going to be Ichor Wellspring. Thoughtcast. Swing. Let's go ahead and draw another card. Let's play another Frogmite and ship the turn. So that turn went pretty well for us. Despite having our Spring Leaf drum blown up, we were able to do everything I wanted to do, which was draw 4 cards and attack with a big ATOG. So this could be Kuldotha Rebirth. My opponent could do that, which is where you sack an artifact. Yeah. Might be a little late for that, though. Draw another Thoughtcast. Definitely don't mind Thoughtcasts. Let's see, do I actually want to play the Prof Prism? If I do, I actually cannot play my other ATOG. So let's just go ahead and run out an Ancient Den and attack my opponent with everything. My plan is then to play the Mirror Enforcer and the second ATOG. Yeah, I just want those to die. How much is he going to cost me? 2? So I actually cannot play both. So that means we're going to play the Prophetic Prism and then play the Mirror Enforcer. Rusted Relic. If I probably should have played the ATOG and the Mirror Enforcer pre-combat, because then I could have done both. But I think as is, it's still okay. I wasn't sure if my opponent would have blocked, but I guess it didn't matter if he blocked or not to me. So that was a bit of a misplay on my part. It was definitely better to play the Mirror Enforcer and ATOG, because I could have done both, yeah, pre-combat. Sanctum Gargoyle, what is this? Okay, so Ichor Wellspring, yeah. Not really afraid of a 2/3 flyer though. Tree of Tails, not exactly what I was looking for. Let's get in with the business end of our ATOG and Mirror Enforcer. Let's play the Rusted Relic and ship the turn. Rusted Relic, good card, he's the beats. Alright, that was it for my opponent. Let's take another look here. What am I looking to bring in? Between that stuff, the Relic doesn't seem too bad. Nor does the Ancient Grudge. But I have to wonder if Doomblade is perhaps better. I don't think the Armadillo Cloak will do me wrong. Doomblade is good against his creatures, all his creatures except the Kuldotha Rebirth. So Edict's going to be bad. But Trickery seems a little too narrow. I think just those two cards is actually probably good enough. We'll try it out. My creatures quickly outclass his. I don't want to be Ancient Grudging his Ichor Wellspring, so we'll just try this out. This is almost everything I look for in a hand. It's just missing a land. But we're on the draw, so we're on the draw and we have a piece removal, so we'll keep it. Okay, now I wish I had the Ancient Grudge. Relic. I think I'd rather start off with Springleaf Drum. But Relic is good, because that's a 1-drop artifact, so if nothing else, I can have the Frogmite on very late, but still have him on at some point. Alright, so this is not looking great. Okay, Tree of Tails. Perfect. So we can go Prof Prism, Frogmite. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Got to tap it for a blue. Ship the turn, have a grip full of artifacts, start these Mirror Enforcers coming down. Now we're in much better shape. So that's the fun thing about Affinity, is it can get some work done pretty fast. Yeah, sure, Galvanic Blast, my Frogmite. A-okay with that. Draw another Frogmite. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go ahead and have exile the Galvanic Blast. Ship the turn. Holding up our own Galvanic Blast. Yeah, I like our spot here. Gonna be pretty hard for Kuldotha tokens to overwhelm this. Of course, Skyfisher is a little better, probably bouncing the Wellspring. Could Galvanic Blast it, but instead I think I'm going to hold off on the Galvanic Blast. Yeah, there's no real reason to play it yet. Thoughtcast. Okay, that's just beautiful. Attack for 8. Ship the turn. Woo, Pauper. So yeah, this is fun. Been playing a lot of Pauper. Well, I played last Friday in real life. I want to start playing more. Pauper's just such a fun format. This guy who I was talking to said that if you were to buy every relevant deck in Pauper, you would be about $600, and that's like the cost of a modern deck. So really, very, very accessible format. You know, this one's obviously much cheaper. So Ray Revelation might have been a good pick here. Online, it's obviously much cheaper, is what I meant to say. Also, if my opponent is Journey to Nowhereing my Mirror Enforcer, that makes me want to go ahead and Galvanic Blast this. So I can start getting with my other cards. Let's go ahead and exile it as well. Ooh boy, just getting all the thought casts. That's why Mirror Enforcer is so good. Yeah, that makes me feel like he probably doesn't have a lot of extra removal here, so do you feel comfortable doing that? Yeah, Galvanic Blast, sure. You cannot Galvanic Blast my Rusted Relic. Go ahead and get rid of that. No artifacts in the graveyard for me to be getting rid of, though. So perhaps I'm going a little deep on the relic here, but if nothing else, it draws me a card, I suppose. I have 9 damage on the board. Okay, he can Journey to Nowhere my Arrested Relic. I unfortunately have more threats than my opponent has Arrested Relics, though. Now might be time to crack this, honestly. Just because I can draw the card. Okay, that's at least something. It just means 2 more hits off my Frogmites. We'll connect this turn, and then connect with at least 1 next turn. So don't hate that. Yeah, I just need to connect with the 1, so that's fine. Ah, another Journey to Nowhere. That is a-okay, though. I still have 2 Galvanic Blasts left of the deck. My opponent is struggling to stabilize. See, the Sign-On doesn't do it. It's alright. I like my chances here. My opponent has 4 cards in hand, though. Ooh, soon to be a few more. Alright, now that's unfortunate. I guess not super unfortunate, though. It doesn't really change my clock too much. Yeah, now I'm in a bit of a bind. Drawing another Spring Leaf was not good. I don't have Perilous Research. I've already played 3 Thought Casts. Ooh, destroy target artifact or enchantment. I wonder what he will be destroying. Ornithopter? Oh, okay. He's destroying his own thing to draw another card. That's fine. Yeah, I guess I have really nothing good to destroy here. Okay. My opponent may dig himself out of this. Fling. That would have been good earlier. But actually, that's actually pretty good, because now all I needed to do is draw an ATOG. And I am set. Cycling a Forgotten Cave. My opponent is catching up on my card draw. Yeah, I will be taking 2 here. My opponent only has 1 more Journey to Nowhere. I haven't played any ATOGs yet. That is acceptable. And there we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 7, 8, 9, 10. Does it resolve? Alright, and we got it. Got it with the ATOG on the flank. Good job, Fling Tog. See you guys in the next game.